Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. Proverbs, the 28th chapter, verse 14 says this: How blessed is the man who fears always, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. What does that mean? Have you ever thought about that? Think about it this way. So yesterday, when you went to church, you heard a really good message, maybe even got you fired up, and you thought, you know what, I'm going to change a little bit come Monday. Well, Monday's here, and it's the start of a new week. And I got a question for you today. Are you going to be the strong witness Monday through Saturday as you are on Sunday in the church house? It's easy to be strong in faith on Sunday morning in the church house with others around. You can fool them if that's what you're doing. But you can't fool God if Monday you sound like the rest of the world, whereas on Sunday you sound like the people in the church house. You're living two lives. You can't do that. You can only serve one master. And that's what I kind of want to get at this morning is, how different are you Monday through Saturday as you are on Sunday morning in the church house? Who are you showing off for? Who are you trying to fool? Are you trying to fool the people at the church, or are you trying to fool yourself? It's a slippery slope to walk down. We need to either be serving God 100% or not. It's that simple. In Ephesians, the 4th chapter, starting in verse 14, as a result, we are no longer to be children tossed here and there by waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, by the trickery of men, by craftiness and his deceitful scheming. But speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in all aspects unto him who is the head, even Christ, from whom the whole body, being fitted and held together by every joint supplies, according to the proper working of each individual part, causes the growth of the body for the building up of itself in love. This passage I've always gotten to be, it's always told me that every fiber of my body needs to be serving God if I claim to be a Christian. There's no just on Sunday morning and the rest of the week I get to do serve man, do man's things, and then on Sunday morning ask for forgiveness. I've never felt it works that way. I feel like those that do that, they're deceiving themselves. They think they're doing good, but they're not. They're not doing any good at all. So this morning, my question for you is, through the week, when you're not around your church friends, who do you represent? Do the people you hang out with from your actions know that you're a Christian? Or if somebody was to ask one of your friends or tell them that, yeah, he goes to this church down on the corner, and they're stunned. Like, really? I never even knew he'd grace the doors of the church. You couldn't tell by what he says or how he speaks or how he acts. We need to, as best we can, be either for Christ all the way or not. There's no middle road there. And in verse 17 it says, though this I say and affirm together with the Lord, that you walk no longer just as Gentiles also walk, but in the fullness of their mind, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart. See, I believe that, and this is just my opinion, that each time you turn your back on God, each time when you hear his calling and you say, no, I don't want to do that, the next time the voice is a little bit lower, the tug is not quite so hard, and eventually you've hardened your heart against God that you don't hear him no more. He's still calling, but you don't hear him no more, because you have chosen the life that you want to live, and it's a life outside of Christ. You can say you believe, and you can say you read the Bible, but if you truly believe, you would live as such. The Bible's a great book to read, but if you're not a child of God, it's just a great book. If you're a child of God, there's meaning to the words. Words have meaning. So please, be careful on Monday when you start your week that you don't fall in your old routine and sound like all the other people at work with the dirty jokes and the foul language and so on and so forth. But make today that first day that you stand up and say, you know what, I'm a Christian, and I shouldn't talk like that. I'm not going to talk like that no more. I shouldn't think like that. I'm not going to think like that anymore. I'm going to think as a Christian who serves a mighty God would do. It's going to be a rough week, but at the end of the week, you'll feel better. Verse 23 says this, and that you be renewed in the spirit of your mind. So think about that. If your mind is fixated on God and you're thinking of Him, wouldn't it stand to reason that it would be easy to follow Him in everything that you do?